as a child at 9 away from their home, right? Um, so I studied in England for a long time by myself from the age of 9 until university time. And I came back here because there was a lot of problems at home. My mum passed away, so I came home. I came home just before she passed away. So I didn't really finish my degree, and then I did odd jobs here and there just to, earn a living, both in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. I'm currently based in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. And then I quit because it didn't make me happy. So, and my philosophy in life is do what makes you happy. And then I found my way into doing ballet because that was my first love when I was very young. I did ballet for a long time, for like 5 years when I was much younger. And I came back to it when I came back to Saigon and enrolled at the dance academy here. And so, yeah, I was there for a few years. And then I went into the opera house to perform for a very short period of time. But then, like I said, like if I'm not happy with either the environment, the people, if it doesn't bring me any joy, I tend to just remove myself from the situation so that I don't become overwhelmed with whatever is going on. So then that's where Winter Syrinx started, because during that same time, um, I was diagnosed with PTSD and depression and anxiety. So yeah, and then so it started from like 2017. I started this whole project, and it's just to raise awareness on mental health and how important it is to look after our mental health. And it's not about fixing it, because we all have mental health issues. Sometimes we get stressed at work and or at school. Lots of what like homework to do and all of this. So it's not about fixing it. It's about be able to manage and, you know, better yourself and understand your emotion clearly so you can deal with it better. So with the project, the Winter Syrinx project, is that we um, kind of help and support. We are not therapists, so we don't claim ourselves to be like we're gonna cure you of mental issues. But we're more like here to support. We have workshops for local students here. For example, we do like once every Sunday for like 90 minutes. You can either do art, you can do movement, theatre, voice, and then at the end of the year, we showcase them out as an exhibition for you to be able to tell your story in a non-verbal way, essentially. And this is a good sort of platform for people to share their story, to empathize with each other, to understand what one is going through without having to verbally explain, if you are not comfortable with that. And I can understand, like, I am not very talkative. So I tend to be like, I don't want to talk about this. Can I just show it to you? And some people will get it, some people won't get it, and that's fine. Like, as long as you have people there to listen to you, to be present next to you, and just in general, just supporting you without having the need to be like, oh, I think you should do it like this, or I think you should do it like that. Like, to be able to feel like you are helping or supporting someone, I think the best thing to do is really to just to listen to each other and be there for each other. You don't have to say anything if you don't feel like, oh no, my friend is crying, I need to say something. Because it's not genuine if you feel like you have to force the words out of your mouth. So I think if you just sit there and be someone, be a shoulder to cry on, be someone who will listen and not having any judgment. And I think that's okay. That's fine. I think, yeah, for me anyway, like a lot of the time when I'm crying or when I'm having an anxiety attack, I don't necessarily want people to talk to me, because it just pushes me on. Like it'll make me feel like, oh no, I'm doing something wrong and people are telling me how to feel and what to do. I generally don't like that. Just let me be. And people usually just sit next to me. Like the people who understands me the most, they just sit next to me. And sometimes if you really need to, you can tell them to breathe with you. That usually helps me anyway. So that's where Winter Series started. And this is our 4th year.
4th year. Oh, okay. So, I mean, it's really hard to find someone just to stay there beside you and listen to you and be a shoulder for you to cry on. So for most of the students, they've been very shy to look out for help, and even they themselves don't know that they are quite acknowledging some mental health issues. So can you share us about what is the key signals that that uh, that we find ourselves, okay, we got something wrong with the mental.
Honestly, there is nothing wrong with us. And in terms of like when we feel like, if we don't know how we feel, and also I know that it's lonely sometimes to be abroad or by yourself. I've been there, but I'm sure there are friends around you, and if they are true friends, they will listen and they will be a shoulder for you. Because whether it's the language barrier or, well, whatever else it is, I'm sure you will find someone. I know it's lonely, but also like if you have a pet as well, pets like dogs and cat can be very helpful in terms of like, especially dogs, they really help with depression. They get you into a routine of like, okay, I have to walk him in the morning or her in the morning, or I have to look after her, I have to feed. Same with cats. Cats are also the same, and because of their purring, it's a certain sort of wavelength of sound, and that helps with like people who have anxiety. And it's not about curing something, it's just being aware. If you're feeling down, that's okay. And if you need to be able to empower yourself, okay, I feel down, what makes me happy? You don't have to wait until the point where you are either depressed or having a massive panic attack. It's okay to seek help as well. If you just go online, you do some research, you read up some resources online. There are plenty online for you to read. And yeah, to be able to empower yourself. If you are feeling a certain way that you are not happy about, do something about it. Like, I know it's hard to like, I do it sometimes. Like sometimes I feel very low, like with my moods and everything. And I just like, okay, today I just want to spend time in bed. I don't really want to do anything else because I don't feel like doing anything else. But sometimes if you are unhappy with how you are feeling, then I think just give yourself a date. Like, okay, today I am going to go out for a walk, a short walk. A 5-minute walk is okay as well. Just a very, very short walk. And or just take yourself out for a coffee, or take yourself out to a library to read some books. At least get out of the house. I think it's the first step in like sort of keeping your mental health level maintained at a certain level. Like I said, like to a lot of the people here, it's like going to the gym. A lot of people who you've seen at the gym are very fit already, and you're there like, why are they here? They're already fit. They are there to maintain that level of fitness. It's the same with mental health. It's never a negative or a positive emotion, isn't it? They're emotions, they're experiences that you go through in life. And so to be able to keep that level of fitness for your mind, you just need to look after it. You need to take it out for a ride, do some, mental training like memory games, or really just take yourself out for a walk, take some fresh air. I don't know whether the COVID situation is difficult to do that in any other part of the the world. But right now in Vietnam, it's pretty good, especially in Ho Chi Minh City. Go out for a very short walk, couple of minutes, and I think that's already will do a lot for your mental health. It's just take that breath of fresh air, really.
Yeah, you're saying the right thing, that I'm really impressed with, it's there is nothing wrong with us, right? Or like, if we keep ourselves like always thinking that I don't need to set any expectations. I don't allow other people to set expectations on myself, except I want to. Because I got a lot of questions about, come on, Chloe, I can't do it because my mom or my dad wanted me to do that, but I really don't know how to do that. And that is like the main reason for all the students, especially international ones, because they spend a lot of money, a lot of time and effort of the whole family to go abroad. So they feel very pressured. They can't return back to the country without achieving anything. And it seems like that is the main reason, the main root to lead to the mental health. Do you agree?
I can't hear you properly. Sorry, the background noise is a little bit loud. I can't hear you properly.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm saying that expectations is the root of the mental health, especially for students. So how can we? I mean, because we are achieving something, and then we know and we experience in life, and that makes us to know how to control the expectation from the outside, especially for students. Because you used to live in England for a long time, since 9 years old. Can you share with us about the time back there, and how were you feeling alone there, or were you really, really have to working hard to meet the expectation of someone else?
Yes, it was a lonely time, obviously. When you're in a different country, you don't speak their language, you don't have anyone close to you, you don't have your family close to you. And it was tough. But, like, you do have the support around you if you seek it. If you don't empower yourself, like, to seek and sort of find that support, then no one's gonna come up to you and do that for you. You have to do it for yourself. Like, if you feel like this is, I need to, okay, I'm feeling a little bit lonely, I'm feeling like this, like, sit with it and try to understand why you're feeling like this, and what are the things that you need to do in able to not feel like this, or in able to understand why I feel like this. So when I was in England, yes, it was lonely time. But it's also exciting. You get to meet new people, and you get to be with, different international kids. Not necessarily your own age, all of them, but some of them are. And you just need to push yourself slightly to be like, okay, I need to make new friends here. And especially at, when you're 9, you learn things very fast, and you're very keen to sort of like make friends, because you don't want to seem like a person who doesn't, socialize well with others. And of course, like, as we all go through, like, peer pressure when you go into high school or middle school, even, you have this peer pressure to be a certain someone. And that is also another experience that sometimes most people go through, I guess. Like, I went through it, like, oh, I need to be like a certain way to be able to be accepted within this institution, in a sense. Like, oh, this group of friends need me to be like this and this and this to be able, for them to be able to accept me into their group, for example. And after a while, you do find your own group if you just vet them out. Like, okay, I don't understand why they are acting like this. Perhaps they're not for me. If they are not there for me as I would be there for them, then they're not worth it. Then you just move on, and you find a different group. or even if you don't want a group, and that's also fine. If you just want to concentrate on your academic work, that's also fine. You don't need to have friends because just for the sake of it. They will naturally come to you and you will naturally draw yourself to them if it's really needed. I feel like if you force yourself into finding friends, it usually won't work out as well. But let it like, you know, let it come naturally. Like you might accidentally go to a cafe and you see another person, you like, oh, I've seen you before, you're in my class, and then it strikes up a conversation. You never know, that could take you somewhere as well. Like never limit yourself to a certain corner. Allow yourself to move freely, metaphorically. But yeah, allow yourself to move freely and let whatever comes come. And if it's not meant to be, let it go. If it's meant to be, try to, you know, try to sort of like support it however you can.
What about expectations?
What about expectation? Like
Yeah.
like expectation.
Like family expectation, personal expectations. Sometimes people got too much stress because of expectations, right?
Yeah.
How are we going to deal with this?
Manage your expectation so that it's doable, because remember that this is like, especially with family, I feel like I am very privileged and I am very lucky that my family is very accepting, so they don't expect much from me other than just to be happy, which I feel very, very lucky to be a part of this family. But with expectation, you have to bear in mind that you have to be selfish sometimes, because you need to set yourself a certain expectation that is doable for you, not for your parents. I know they mean well and they want you to do well in life and to have a stable, you know, living style rather than struggling. But at the end of the day, you're living for you. You are not living for anyone but yourself. Manage your expectations so that it's doable for you, not for anyone else. Because then if you're, for example, a lot of my friends here, like they tend to be like, oh, my parents wants me to be my parents expect me to be a doctor or business, but I want to paint and I want to draw. And imagine living through a life where you feel like you're not happy, you're doing things for someone else, and it just makes you miserable. You don't want that. You want to do things for yourself. You want to make yourself happy. If you don't want to fall down that route of like this well, a tunnel. So you need to be able to give yourself something short term and long term. So short term, I want to just try out this. If it works out, great, I'll continue. If it doesn't, that's okay as well. You learn that you're not great at this, or you learn that this is not for me. And failure is a very important part of life. Without it, you will never be able to learn. You need that part of life. You need to be able to be okay with failing at things, so you know and you learn from it and you be better from it, you develop from it. And yeah, do it for you, don't do it for anyone else.
Do you have a mentor to guide you through on the hardships in your life so far?
No.
Really?
I have friends who are very supportive of what I do. They are not necessarily mentors, they are there to support. They it's like it works both ways. Like when they struggle, I will support them in any way that I can, and when I struggle, they support me whenever I can. They are like, you know, they give me their philosophy. If it works for me, I'll take it. If it doesn't work for me, that's fine. Then you also like learn more from each other as well. Like you understand a little bit more how they work mentally and physically. Yeah, so for me, I don't have a mentor because I've been quite like alone for most of my life, and I'm okay with being alone. But sometimes you do need friends who are there for you, and they'll be like supporting you where you when you were needed, where you were needed. If they don't, and if they don't have anything for you, and that's fine as well, because sometimes they don't go through the same thing as you, or they just don't understand that part of your life, and that's fine too.
I realize that during our conversation, you use a lot of words like "that's fine" and "that's okay too."
Yeah, it is.
It is. Is this like very strong reflex to keep ourselves from the stress or from the expectation that can leading ourselves to mental health? You know, some people, you know, when they were born, they were strong from the beginning. Like I am a strong person. I got strong character. I can live by my own without anyone else. But some people, you know, they got when they were born, because of his this and that, because of the family background, because of everything, so that maybe their mental is not that strong. So how can we, how can we, you know, like support them, like telling them that it's okay to be not okay, right?
Yes,
For
it's okay
them,
not
for
to
them,
be okay.
yeah, for them, it's, everything is seems like it's not okay to them.
Well then, yeah, like support them in helping them to understand that some life in life, nothing is ever just like great or bad. There's you can always find the positive in the negative, and vice versa. And it's okay, like it seriously is okay to sometimes feel. And also one more thing, being weak is not a negative thing. It's just, you know, you're just different. You're not weak or strong. Some people are, yes, like you said, strong-minded, but some other people maybe perhaps I don't want to say weak, just less so, but they are strong in many other things. So it balances out either way. And it is just, you know, understanding how you are feeling and being okay with it and acknowledging it.
Yeah, self-awareness about ourselves is very important as well, because either we are strong or we are weak, or either we are, you know, like kind of balancing people. We know how to balance our state of mind. But tell me about, is there any way, like you share in the beginning, like every month you do a lot of workshop, like painting, like music, like art. Is that the, I mean, the way that for people who want to express on inside out, so that they can understand themselves better?
Like it's truly depending, like everyone is different, everyone works differently. It's like a two-pronged process as well, is that the art can support in certain things but not in all things related to supporting mental health. There's also the more clinical side, which is seeking counseling and therapy. It is two-pronged. If you are severely struggling with a mental disorder, then yes, you should really seek out professional support or professional help. But if you are just there to like, if you're stressed coming to work because of traffic and things like that, there are some small exercises to do just to sort of like bring back the focus, especially through the arts as well. We have like Zentangle. You can search that online as well. Zentangle is something you do for like 5 minutes. You draw repeated pattern on a small square paper, like a small square piece of square paper, like a post-it note, like that size. And then you can just draw repeated pattern. It brings you back into your focus, and it brings you back to your breathing so that you calm yourself. But to acknowledge that, okay, my pulse is racing, my head is burning up, acknowledging things that are happening to your body and be okay with it. Like, this is how my body reacts to certain things, and I need to bring that focus back. Yeah, it's just managing yourself through the arts, and it does help, and it's not like the only solution. Everyone is different. Some people don't like, you know, the arts in general. They just don't feel like that's helpful in any way. And yeah, then you can always find a different route, like therapy, if that is what you really need. And another thing with therapy is that you should only go when you feel ready to go, because forcing yourself to go to something like that, it's never, often or not, like, doesn't necessarily work, because you're forcing yourself into a situation where you don't want to be, right? So like, you're acting it out, but you're not being it. Like, um you're sort of like, how do I explain this? Like, you're just going,
yeah. Well,
you're
actually,
just going for the sake of going, but you're not intentionally going there because of something. Yeah, so you should really be prepared and ready to go into therapy when you are ready, and you shouldn't like, I have to go because this and that. Go when you're ready.
I think, yeah, I mean, a lot of keywords from our conversation, like it's okay,
Yeah,
that's fine, and also acknowledging what really happening inside ourselves is very important.
yes.
Well, back to the W project that you've been doing so far for the last 4 years. Is there any upcoming plans that you want to share with us about that, so I can narrow that to people? Yeah.
Yes, we have. So in, depending on how the pandemic is going, if we're going to a lockdown or not. But if we don't, then in August we will have a small, maybe 2 days event in men's mental health. It is open to,
It's just in Vietnam only. Do you want to bring up like virtually for the world?
I don't know yet, because our sort of like demographic is mainly, for now anyway, is mainly for the local students of Ho Chi Minh City, because one of our financial budget, we are very small in terms of our budget, so we trying to accommodate that, and having like, so a small satellite event in August in men's mental health. So understanding, because there is a lot of focus on like mental health, but spoken more kind of like biased in terms of like women, the women side of things, and not really focusing on like men, like toxic masculinity, and how do men deal with like depression and anxiety and mental health issues in general. So that will be coming up in August. I think that is, August. I think that's also very important to have that, you know, for all sexes to come and join, to understand a little bit more about the other side of it, as well as that, you know, men struggles just as much as women. We all go through things. We all human being. So it's good to involve everyone. And then at the end of the year, we'll also have an exhibition, just like last year. We'll have like workshops, and then for like a good, like a 2 block of I think 8 weeks workshop, and then at the end of the year we'll have like an exhibition showcasing their work, and also perhaps we can have like a mentor mentee program as well, that they can follow through. For example, someone who is doing theater workshop, and if they like the idea of like going into the theatrical industry, then they can follow through with a production crew here in Saigon for like a month, so they understand like, okay, if I decided to go into this industry like acting or stage managing, then this is the process of doing this, so that it follows through, and not just like, here's a workshop and there's an exhibition and that's it. I think it's like, it's nice for them to be like, oh, I want to learn more about this particular, you know, subject that I've been doing workshops on. So it'll be nice for them to follow through and actually have a real life experience with the industry as well. Same for art as well. They can like either host their own art exhibition, or they can go into like curating an art exhibition. What would that look like? What do we need to do? What we need to think about? And then they could maybe also we'll be supporting them through that as well, like just to see if that is what they want to do in the future. So we don't limit them. We let them roam free. They do whatever they like.
Yeah, are all the activities non-profit, or are you looking for, you know, like sponsorships for the ongoing activity?
We are a non-profit organization, so but like depending, like we usually ask for sponsorship from different institutions so that we can carry out like the exhibition and like the workshops. But with the workshop, people don't pay for them. They are free for all workshops. But it is the money from like institution or just private sponsorship, for example. If they want to support the organization, they can. And the money goes into like art supplies and like venues and materials for the workshops.
Yep. And was that like just directly contacted with the sponsor, or are you guys doing like, you know, like online fundraising or something like that?
No, it's directed.
Directed.
Yeah, so I go to different institution and present my proposal. If they like it, they'll sponsor. If they don't, they don't. If they don't, they don't. But yeah, we just
yeah.
oh,
Let
if they
it
don't,
be,
they
right?
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if they don't, they don't. Okay.
Exactly.
Tricia,
And then,
I really,
yes?
I really like the you know, the things that you are doing so far. Well, actually, for this year, I'm gonna decide the student mental health. Well, actually, I'm, you know, the day when I decided to launch the mailbox, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing or wrong. I just, you know, well, actually at that time, I was just thinking like, okay, instead of they just booming my inbox, why don't we just organize a mailbox so that everyone got something not really right for their mind? They can just send, and, you know, like just writing, because writing heals, right? So they just write letters to me, and then if there is something that I cannot help them, or I mean, it's not like belong to my expertise, and I can send to other experts that I know in around the world can help them. Yeah. So I think for the student mental health, we can cooperate in somehow, because it's on for nonprofit, and it is like the first step. You can scale up your activities onto the global one. Like on behalf of Australia, I can be your partner, or I can be your everything when you when you think, hey Chloe, this is really good for the students, because you are doing the right thing for the students in local students in Ho Chi Minh City. And also in March, I'm gonna launch the nonprofit school for women entrepreneurs, targeting to low income women, especially like street vendors, you know, people selling lot things like that, or a very low income stuff, like, you know, like accounting, like, you know, admin, things like that. So they can get a chance to step up, you know, give everything besides, and really live for their own. So yeah, we can do something together.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Tricia, is there any message that you want to deliver to Vietnamese students living in Australia or around the world, especially, you know, sharing your story, you know, when you were alone, like in UK from 9 years old until now you came back, and you're doing the great thing. So you're like the motivation. How can you turn on the struggles? I think these are quite struggles, and into motivation, so guiding you, lighting you to doing the right thing, like you are doing right now.
And I think that comes from like finding the positive in the negative, and just like, I know that there are sometimes when you feel like, you know, alone and lonely and you don't want to be there anymore. But there are lights at the end of the tunnel, and you be you. Like, you do you. You don't need anyone else telling you how to feel, what to do, who to be. You find the true you to be who you want to be. I think yeah. And it's okay. Like, I cannot stress this enough. It's okay to be sad. It's just an emotion. It's just an experience. It's not like, oh no, I'm sad. This is terrible. This is a negative emotion. You don't need to just acknowledge it. It's fine. This is what makes us human. We have to have the lows to have the ups. You have to have the down to have all this positivity. You have to have rain to be able to have sun. So you be you. You do you. I think it's okay. It's okay to be any emotions that you are feeling, and you just need to acknowledge it. And by acknowledging it is the very first crucial, critical step in maintaining your mental health, because you acknowledging, I am feeling like this today, and that's fine, because nobody can tell me what to be or how to be.
Yeah. So the key message of today is don't hide ourselves from emotion.
Yes, accept them, acknowledge them, because they are part of who we are, and we need it. We need to have all these otherwise we're just robots.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But what if what if, people, human like us got too much emotion, which is not, for me, if you behave like you are basic instinct and you don't learn from anything, you have to learn from bad days in order to get yourself rid of, this kind of stuck. Being stuck is really, it's killing ourselves. So we have to learn from that, and we have to, like you said, acknowledge ourselves. But don't hide from any emotions, because and really trust ourselves. If our gut feeling saying that, oh, that's not wrong, oh sorry, that's not right. It seems like I doing something that I really do not want to do. So we have to stop and step back and find out why and how we're gonna deal with this in the future.
Yes. Yeah, we just need to be able to understand ourselves a little bit better by acknowledging ourselves a little bit more. That's all it means.
That's cool. That's cool. Thank you, Tricia, for your time today. And
thank you.
And please share, upcoming activities, because I believe that we can together we can collaborate and make the the activities going virally, and because it's really needed for the students here. I knew it, because in Australia something, like people really laying back. And when you got bad emotion and you're living in the laying back country, it's toxic. To me, it's toxic. Yeah. So keep in touch, and on behalf of the team, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I hope we can catch up somehow in the future in Vietnam or in Australia.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. I've never been, so I'm very excited if I could go one day.
Yeah, sure. We got vaccines available, so no worries.
Great. That's fantastic news. Thank you so much for inviting me to talk, and this has been a wonderful opportunity to share stories and understand what is needed from a lot of people.
Thank you, Tricia. Well, actually, it has, it's supposed to be better because, things happen and we have to accept it. So now I'm back to the office. It's really quiet here. Anyway, thank you for your time. I'm gonna share this section to around the world, and we'll send you the link. And please keep in touch.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Have a good day, Em.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye.